Hello students, welcome back again. Today we shall study the third chapter in your English language, that is subject-verb agreement. The subject-verb agreement clearly states that the subject and the verb should agree with each other. So there are a few rules and a few examples given in your book. Just go through them and you see according to those rules, if you follow those rules, you will be able to fill up the proper answers. So do read them and let me know if you have any doubt. Then we take the assignment which is given in your book on page number 53. So here this assignment has given two options for you to choose and you are supposed to select the right option. So let's see the first statement. It says that there dash two mistakes in your essay. Now mistakes is the subject over here. So mistakes is plural. So we will write there are. There are two mistakes in your essay. The second one, the captain with all his team members dash awarded. Now we take the captain as it is the subject. The captain. Now we don't consider the team members. We take the captain. Since it's singular, we take a singular verb. That means was awarded. Every one of the troop dash present. So everyone, each and every one, and troop is a collective noun. So again considered as one. So again singular, was present. Neither of my brothers dash any car. So none of my brothers. So don't go look at the brothers. You see none of my brothers. So no brother of mine. Again singular, has any car. Time and tide waits for none. Time and tide, two singular subjects joined by and. 50,000 rupees is a big sum. Now don't look at the money or the amount, you look at a sum of money, singular. So that is a big sum. None but the brave dash the fair. So nobody else but only one person. Who? The brave person deserves. Now better whenever we have S like deserves, that is considered as singular. Deserve is considered as a plural. Okay. Which of these books dash yours? Now out of all these books, which one is yours? So we are asking out of this which one is yours. So again singular is. The great leader and statesman dash dead. Now whenever we join two singular subjects with and, we take a singular verb like the great leader and statesman is dead. That means this person was a leader as well as a statesman. So is. If we had another article before statesman, for example, the great leader and the statesman, that means we are talking about two different individuals, and in that case we take a plural verb. So here one person was a leader and statesman, therefore singular verb is dead. 2 and 2 make 4. The teacher as well as her students. Now again the same thing, as well as we look at the teacher, a singular subject is present. 3/4 of the house. So one portion of the house. 3/4 portion of the house dash constructed, was constructed. Fine. Now we take the assignment or the exercise 5A. Now for exercise 5A you are given a paragraph and the verb that has to be filled in is given in bracket. Now according to the requirement or according to the tense that is being required in the paragraph, you have to write it. So let's see what does the paragraph say and what are we required to fill in up. The first electric light dash by an English scientist named Humphrey Davy in 1800. Now 1800 is a gone past, yeah. The first electric light make is given. So we will fill there was made. The first electric light was made by an English scientist named Humphrey Davy in 1800. Since it is past, we have to put the past tense. He dashed an electric battery He dash an electric battery. Dash. Invent. We have to write the past tense of this. He invented an electric battery by dash wires to a battery and a piece of carbon. By connecting. This made the carbon glow, which dash light. This made. Now they have already given, that means the past tense. So you also need to use your brain. So this made the carbon glow, which produced light. Around 1860, so also long back, the British physicist Sir Joseph Wilson Swan wanted, now it's given that wanted to create a long-lasting electric light. He dashed that a carbon paper filament did the job. Now did, they have given it in the past tense. Fine. So you also need to do the same. He found that. He found that a carbon paper filament did the job. But it dashed quickly. But it burnt quickly. Past participle. Burnt. B-U-R-N-T. Therefore, Thomas Alva Edison dashed with thousands of different filaments. Thomas Alva Edison experimented, past tense, with thousands of different filaments. In 1880, he discovered the right filament, which discovered, now it's already given in the past tense, we also can do the same, which helped him to invent the light bulb. That's it. So then in the answers you will be given the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, half mark each. So you have to write it in numbers. Okay. Then the second exercise. This is preposition. Here you will be given to fill in the blank with the correct word. Now that word is preposition. So you need to have a deep knowledge of preposition, right? So let's see here. I refrain dash giving my opinion. To refrain means to prevent something. That means you need to improve your vocabulary also. So I refrained. So I stopped. I prevented myself from giving my opinion. So in the blank you will write from. Recently there has been a small reduction dash the price of petrol. There has been a reduction in the price of petrol. Followed? The fire brigade put dash the fire. Now fire brigade, what is its job? To put the fire off. O-double-F, right? Then we shall take dash your queries at the next meeting. Queries, your doubts. We shall take up your queries in the next meeting. Courage will carry a man dash difficulties. Courage will carry a man through difficulties. Yeah. Pupils must look dash to their teachers as their guide. To look at someone. So look up at someone. So students should look up to their teachers as their guide. We were amazed dash the principal said. Now these things like we usually talk. I was amazed at what he said. So we were amazed at what the principal said. I came dash some foreigners in the village. So when I was in the village, I came across something or some people. So I came across some foreigners in the village. So the answers are from, in, of, O-double-F, up, then through, up, at, across. Fine. Now the third exercise. In this exercise, you are supposed to join two sentences. Now in your previous class, you must have studied simple sentence, compound sentence and complex sentence. So those sentences here you will have to fill up. So you have to have a knowledge about the different types of sentences. So here you need to join these sentences, but you have to keep in mind that you cannot use the word and, but, so. These words you will not use when you combine or join two sentences to make one sentence. Now, who has snatched the lady's purse? The police will soon find out. Now there are two sentences. Who has snatched the lady's purse? The police will soon find out. So we can write it. The police will soon find out who has snatched the lady's purse. No question mark at the end. We will put a full stop. There is something in store for him. He does not know it. We usually see, let's see what is in store for us, what God has decided to give us. So this is not the store or the storeroom or something, a small room. Store means something that we may get. So there is something in store for him, he does not know it. We have to join this. We can write it like that. He does not know that there is something in store for him. Yeah? Or you can also write like that. He does not know what is in store for him. He does not know it. You have to remove this it. He does not know that there is something in store for him. Yeah? I forgot my passport. That was careless of me. So you can write it. I forgot my passport, which was careless of me. Yeah? That I forgot my passport was careless of me. Followed? Then the next one. She can go there. She has to tell her mother about it. Now, she can go there, but she has to tell her mother. But we cannot write but, no? We cannot join it with but. So here you can do it like that. She can go there. However, she has to tell her mother about it. Okay? Clear? Then take the fourth exercise. The fourth exercise, you will have to write the sentence according to the instructions given at the end of each sentence. Like, we have to study a third language up to class 8th. Now, in the bracket it is given use compulsory. Now, what can we do that? We can write, it is compulsory for us. It is compulsory for us to study a third language up to class 8th. Followed? My uncle is too old to learn new things. You have to begin, my uncle is so old. Now, here when we have to convert it with the help of so, you have to write the next part into negative. My uncle is so old that he cannot learn new things. Then, as soon as I arrived, I had a cup of tea. You have to begin upon. So, upon arriving, comma, I had a cup of tea. He works hard that he may become rich. You have to begin, he aims. He aims to become rich by working hard. His aim is not to work hard. Keep that in mind. His aim is to become rich. You cannot write it, he aims to work hard to become rich. That will go wrong. Followed? His aim is to become rich. So he aims to become rich. How? By working hard. That way you have to write. We must listen to his music. Now this is active and passive voice. Begin, his music. His music must be listened to. This preposition you cannot put it here and there. His music must be listened to by us. Because of the harsh weather, the ship could not sail. Because of the harsh weather, the ship could not sail. Begin. The harsh weather prevented the ship from sailing. Followed? My shirt was not returned until it had been washed. So you have to end before it was returned. That means my shirt was washed before it was returned. Are you going for the picnic tomorrow? This is direct and indirect speech. You have to convert it into indirect speech. Are you going for the picnic tomorrow? He asked Uma. Begin. He asked Uma if. So we know the rule. Whenever we have a question mark, we use either if or whether. So since they have already given if, we write it that way. He asked Uma if she. Are you going for a picnic? If she. Now the rule is that when we change the direct sentence into indirect sentence, we put the subject first, not the verb. Are you? Here in direct speech they have given verb first and then the subject. But when we convert it into indirect speech, we put the subject first and then the verb. Followed? He asked Uma if she was. Past tense, she was going for the picnic. Now tomorrow changes into the next day. Is that clear? So when you change these sentences, keep one thing in mind, do not change the meaning of the sentence. Now also in this chapter, along with this chapter, I would like to tell you some points or some layouts for writing a formal letter. So when you write a formal letter, you should keep in mind a few points. That is, it's given that the writer's address is to be given the same way as you write in the personal letter. Now, what is a formal letter? Formal letter can be known as an official letter or a business letter. Yeah. So you are the writer or you are the sender. That means you will write your address towards the left hand side of the page. Followed. After that, you will write the date. That means after you finish writing your address, you will write the date. Now, date has to be written like this. For example, today is 4th of June. So for any date that you write, but that same date you will have to write, because in the exam, what some children had done in the board exams, they had written any date they liked, but the exam was conducted on a particular date. But you have to keep in mind, when that time you have to write the same date. So for example, today is 1st of June or today is 28th of May. So we write 28. Now TH you don't have to hang it upstairs. TH you will write near 28. So 28 TH June 2020. Then you will leave one line and then you will write the address to the person whom you are sending the letter. So then comes the next address, the receiver's address. So these things you have to keep in mind. Your address, date, the way I told you, that means day, date and day, month and year. Then the receiver's address, then the salutation or the greetings, dear sir or dear madam. Yeah, simple sir or madam. Don't write both the things at the same time. If it is a common noun like a teacher, you are writing to a teacher or you are writing to a doctor or you are writing to a lawyer, we do not know whether it's, if you are not aware whether he is a male or a female, then you can write dear sir, then oblique madam, comma. Then you write the subject. You have to mention the subject. So it deals with what has to be written. Yeah, what does the subject or what is the letter about? Most of the times when we see the subject, we come to know that this is a leave application, this is application for some other reason. So that has to be written in the subject. And then the opening sentence, that means you have to write it. You don't have to write it like a personal letter. How are you? Not heard about you. I'm missing you. There's no rubbish. Straight away come to the point. That is the meaning of formal letter. So then divide the body into 3 parts and then we come to the subscription. That is the last point. There you will write yours faithfully. Now why yours? Y will be capital and faithfully F will be small. Always put a comma after that. Below that you will put a bracket, you will put your signature, and below that you will write your full name. So this is the layout of a formal letter. Practice writing formal letters from your textbook and then we shall meet very soon. Till then, keep learning.